Hello guys, this is Dionne from Mosaics. Welcome to my channel, and I am here in my downstairs bathroom as I'm going to be recording a new kind of video where I'm going to be mosaicing my windowsill. So that's why you can see the shot right here. So if I just get a little bit closer, this is what my windowsill currently looks like. Don't ask me what this thing is doing here. It's a shelf that I was meant to have put up ages ago, so I think I need to do that. And then this piece of I think it's marble. I found that in a skip, and I just kind of thought I'd use it in my bathroom, just to give it a little bit of excitement, because it's a bit boring. Since we moved in here, I obviously didn't do any tiling, and I knew I wanted to have something different in this space, but I wasn't too sure what. But I think I now have an idea of what I want. So I shall be recording along the way. Do you like my mirror? This actually came from, I think this came from Portugal, from a gift from my parents. Anyway, back to the job at hand. So I'm going to be recording what I do with this space, what the tiles I'm going to be using, the method I'm going to be using. So, you know, continue watching, and let's see what happens. See you soon. Okay, so I thought I'd show you the actual materials I'm going to be using to design my mosaic project. So I have the paper that I'm going to be using right here, the mesh I'm going to be using also, and I have some cellophane. This is to prevent the actual mesh from sticking to the paper. I've got some tape and of course my pencil. So these are the items I'm going to be using, and I'm going to show you how I use them in just a moment. So as you can see, I've cut my mesh into two pieces. The smaller piece is for the windowsill area, and I've remeasured that, and the bottom piece is for the backsplash, which goes behind the tap. I'm just rolling out the cello. I'm going to measure to make sure I've got enough cello to cover my paper underneath. Now that's cut, I'm just going to place the cello underneath my mesh just to make sure my measurements are okay and there's nothing too short. And I'm ready to draw my image underneath. Okay, so I'm back, and I have cut out the piece of paper that I need, the size paper that I need. I've also cut out my mesh samples that I'm going to use, and also my cellophane, which is going to go underneath. I'm going to show you how that all comes together in a minute. So I've just basically marked on the outside here the actual size of what I'm using. I just used it to do that. I just basically put my mesh on there and did a couple of marks on the outside so I know what I'm doing. Just and something else to note as well. When you're measuring your space, make sure you measure it correctly and go back and put your mesh inside the space that you're going to work on, because I discovered that my windowsill is slightly off. It's not completely straight. So just to make sure that you remember to measure correctly before you start mosaicing. So I'm going to go with a tree design for my bathroom project. I love trees. I love nature, so I'm just going to do a very, very basic outline. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, what kind of shape I'm going to go for. I'm just going to go with a flow and see what happens. I may adjust it as I go along. It's looking a bit like a baobab tree, actually, one of the trees that are grown in Africa. Let's see, I might take that out a bit more. But one thing I do when I'm mosaicing, when I'm drawing my outline can always change once I start my mosaic. So I just normally start with something very basic and then it might change as I go along. And I think this is going to change because I'm not really liking this tree. It looks like a paddle, so I'm going to change that. And let's go for something a little more trunk-like. I think that's better. This is actually going to be behind the tap, so you're not going to really see much of that. And yeah, okay. I think I'm kind of liking that. I'll stick with that for now and see how it goes. And so once I have my design there, I then place the cellophane on top of that. That's going to protect any glue from sticking to the paper. And then my mesh goes on top of that, just like so. Now remember, I've got a windowsill, so that's why I've got two pieces of mesh. So the windowsill, make sure it's facing the right direction. So that's going to go up the top here. And I'm just basically going to stick that down with some tape at the sides, hold it into place. Right, as you can see, the whole thing is kind of moving quite a bit, so I'm going to go ahead and stick the mesh to, sorry, the plastic to the paper, so that doesn't move around either. There we go. Hi, I'm back, and as you can see, I've made a little bit more progress to my mosaic. So my last shot, you saw with me with a basic outline, and I've decided to just change it up a little bit and put a deeper line so I can see the outline. And I've also added some swirls in there, as you can see, and I've actually started my mosaic. So I've gone for these ceramic tiles. They're Winkleman's unglazed porcelain. Very hard during tiles. I love these tiles. Very easy to cut as well. And I've also traced a little bit of bling. And I've cut them into these long cylindrical shapes. Let me just pan back a bit so you can see. And this is the design that I'm working with. So it's going to basically be swirls within the tree. Just move that back there. So you can see where the mesh, I've taped it together, where the windowsill part meets the backsplash part, like so. And that's it so far. So this is the end of part 1. Hopefully you'll tune in to part 2. If you've got any questions, please leave your comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.